It is noon in Cairo. It is 7 p.m. in Tokyo. I'm Monita, Rajpal. This is World One, live from London. We will bring you those stories in just a moment, but first we want to start with some breaking news out of France. In just the last hour, a police source has told CNN that a siege is underway at a bank in the city of Toulouse. The source said 4 people are being held hostage. We want to bring you more on this story. Now, I go to our senior international correspondent, Jim Bitterman, who joins us now on the line from Paris. Jim, what more do we know?
Monita, apparently the gunman is holding 4 people hostage.
He fired. We'll bring you more on this ongoing and developing situation there from Toulouse as we get it. For now, though, with Egypt's transition to democracy in the balance, so too is the life of former President Hosni Mubarak. He remains on life support in Cairo. His condition is said to be critical. The 84-year-old was taken to hospital late on Tuesday after the uprising which drove Mubarak from power. People in Egypt will find out Thursday who will actually be their next president. Both candidates who contested the runoff vote claimed... Ivan, thank you. Ivan Watson there, live for us from Cairo. Well, Mubarak's health has been deteriorating since the revolution in February last year, as Ivan was just reporting. And my colleague Fionnuala Sweeney has been speaking to CNN's senior medical correspondent, Elizabeth Cohen, to find out what the profession means by the term clinically dead. The head of the UN observer mission for Syria says his monitors have been deliberately shot at. The mission was suspended on Saturday after a fierce upsurge in violence, but General Robert Mood says the observers are staying put.
I made that decision based on the risks on the ground.
A diplomatic source says Mood told members of the Security Council monitors had come under direct fire 10 times. He also told them 9 UN vehicles had been attacked, but the Syrian ambassador to the UN, Bashar Jafari, says he wants the mission to resume, and he says Syria will protect its people.
I reiterate on behalf of my government.
Well, CNN's Arwa Damon is following developments from neighboring Lebanon. She joins us now live from Beirut with more. Arwa.
Well, Monita, I most certainly think that opposition activists would...
In London say Julian Assange is wanted for breaking the conditions of his release on bail. The founder of the whistleblowers website, WikiLeaks, is at the Ecuadorian embassy in London, outside the embassy, and she joins us now. And I guess, Nema, many people will be asking, first and foremost, why Ecuador?
Absolutely, Monita, especially as Ecuador has what Human Rights Watch has called one of the worst press freedom records in the region.
Thank you for that, Nema Al-Bagher, reporting to us there from outside the Ecuadorian embassy here in London. An undiplomatic exchange took place between Britain and Argentina on the sidelines of the G20 summit in Mexico. Argentina's President, Cristina Fernández de Kirchner, apparently tried to give British Prime Minister David Cameron documents relating to her country's claim to the Falkland Islands. CNN's Richard Green has been following the story. He joins us now. PR blunder, perhaps?
Well, I think it's a sign of how bad relations between Britain and Argentina are. They can't even agree what happened in Mexico yesterday.
Thank you very much for that, Richard. Appreciate it. You're watching World One live from London. You're watching World One live from London. Coming up, Japan's Tokyo Electric Power Company releases the final report. Prepared, that's an admission from the operator of Japan's crippled Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant over the company's handling of the meltdown sparked by last year's devastating earthquake and tsunami. The Tokyo Electric Power Company has released its final report into the nuclear disaster. Now, more than a year after the disaster, people living near the Fukushima plant are still reeling amid the devastation caused by the nuclear meltdown. Many are struggling to come to terms with what has happened to them. And as Kyung La reports, that's taking a deadly toll. The Burmese pro-democracy leader Aung San Suu Kyi continues her visit to England today. Right now, she's at a ceremony to present her with an honorary doctorate from Oxford University. The degree was awarded to her in 1993, but Suu Kyi couldn't. It's good to see, Dan, that the weather has certainly cooperated for Aung San Suu Kyi, that it's a beautiful day there in Oxford. Thank you very much for that. Dan Rivers reporting to us there live. Well, world leaders have wrapped up their G20 summit in Los Cabos, Mexico, apparently content to delay any major decisions on the European economic crisis. They released a general statement on Tuesday that stopped short of making major ironclad commitments. The leaders promised more spending only if conditions worsen. President Barack Obama is voicing his support for that effort to integrate Europe's banking systems into a kind of banking union. We want to go now to the White House, where CNN's Jill Doherty joins us live with more on what he means by that. Jill?
Well, Monita, really what he's talking about is bringing these countries together, which are really stovepiped.
Yeah, economy is the big issue there for the elections there in the United States. Jill, thank you very much for that. Jill Doherty reporting us there from Washington. Time is running out for Greece's political parties to form a new government, but politicians involved in the talks say they are confident a deal will be reached today. New Democracy Party leader Antonis Samaras says he wants to form a government with as many parties as possible. Well, joining a coalition government in Greece may be the easy part. Deciding the makeup of the new cabinet and how to renegotiate the bailout is proving to be much more difficult. Matthew Chance joins us now live from Athens with more on that. Matthew, I would assume that that's probably what the sticking points are, because we were hoping to have a government yesterday.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were, Monita. A lot of people were expecting this political crisis to come to a quick and, early end.
Thank you, Matthew Chance, live in Athens. You are watching World One live from London. Just under 2 weeks ago, Euro 2012 kicked off with 16 nations hoping to lift the continent's biggest football prize. Now there are only 8. Alex Thomas has more on that and the other day's top stories.
Yes, Monita. England and France have claimed the final 2 places in the European Football Championship quarter.
We need to do some analysis of our own, I think.
Okay.
I think it's very important that we do like a post-sport update analysis. Let's talk a little bit about England and, Wayne Rooney
tactical
was...
analysis?
Yeah, we could do a little bit of that. I mean,
Yeah.
Wayne Rooney was under a lot of pressure to deliver after
Yep.
being suspended. See, I read that much. I listened. And we could look at this as potentially being, blowing off some steam. That's the headline there in the Daily Mirror, one of the red tops here in the UK. Here we go. Now, what's that about?
Okay. England football fans are normally very vocal, but you could say one of their chants is quite uninspiring, and it goes along the lines of, here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we've go, here we've go. Wayne Rooney used to be going bald, but he's had some hair plugs.
Yeah.
So he comes back from suspension, scores the crucial and only goal of the game. Oh, and he's got hair plugs.
So what's he saying? That's his lucky charm now?
Yeah, I don't know. I just think they thought it was a good pun.
But there has been some debate over this goal in itself. I mean, there are those that are saying that it really...
No,
England didn't win.
Not about Rooney's goal, about Ukraine's goal.
Ukraine, yeah.
That should have been an equaliser.
Yeah.
And actually would have put them just 1 goal away from going through.
Yeah.
But England, remember, 2010 in the World Cup in South Africa, I was there as Frank Lampard scored a goal that everyone saw was over the line.
Yeah.
It wasn't given. Yeah. And that actually led to FIFA, the world governing body, kind of changing their tune. And they've been testing goal line technology, and they should vote it in, as Pedro was saying, next month. But UEFA are still refusing. They're still living in the dark ages. Come on, guys.
Well, I think,
pull it together.
We can go on about this.
If Wayne Rooney can wear hair plugs, surely football
Poor guy.
can turn to video
He just
technology.
wants to look good.
He does, though.
Okay. You're watching World One live from London. Does today feel particularly long to you? Well, if it does, meteorologist Mari Ramos can shed plenty of light on that. No pun intended there, Mari.
That's right, Monita.
You're watching World One live from London. We are approaching almost 7 a.m. for you in New York. It is almost 1 p.m. in Berlin, and it is almost 9 minutes to 8 p.m. in Tokyo. We want to take a look at what's trending on social media right now. With mixed reports out of Egypt, there's speculation over former Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak's health, and that is building online. Some Twitter users are skeptical. They're saying all of this talk of Mubarak is a distraction from the bigger issues facing the country. Another public figure grabbing attention, Julian Assange. As we've been reporting, the WikiLeaks founder is seeking asylum at the Ecuadorian embassy here in London. The Twitter hashtag Assange has been one of the most popular since it became known he arrived there on Tuesday. And finally, we just heard there from Alex Thomas in World Sport, Didier Drogba, the former Chelsea footballer's decision to sign with Chinese club Shanghai Shenhua, didn't come as much of a surprise, but it still got plenty of you talking. Even Manchester United player Rio Ferdinand weighed in. He tweeted, looking forward to playing against Didier Drogba when MUFC plays Shanghai Shenhua in Shanghai on the 25th of July. Well, it's an event that brings celebrations to Sweden and pagans to Stonehenge. But what exactly is the summer solstice? Meteorologist Mari Ramos is at the World Weather Center with a bit of a science and cultural lesson for us on this Wednesday.
Well, yeah, you know what? It's not only in Europe where they have these celebrations of the sun during the summer solstice. They have celebrations in across Latin America, in Mexico, in Colombia.
All right, as long as we have sunshine, that's all we care about at
right.
this point. Mari, thank you very much for that. Before we go, we want to update you on some of the breaking news that's coming out of France. This hour, police say a gunman has taken 4 hostages at a bank in the city of Toulouse. These are eyewitness pictures from the scene. Al-Qaeda as well. Of course, that will get more confirmation and more details on the situation there in Toulouse as we get it. You are watching World One live from London. I'm Monita Rajpal. We'll bring you more on that after this break, plus the latest on the mystery surrounding the condition of former Egyptian leader Hosni Mubarak right here on CNN.